Greetings, subterranean viewers. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Anoxia Station. Chapter 3, Frozen Blood. Sector ZL22, depth 3280. Seismic activity 54%. External temperature is cold. Hey, that's different. Signs of biological activity is detected. Background radiation is a fair bit higher. Chapter 3, Frozen Blood. You ended up in the permafrost sector. Rich in gas deposits, however, equipment and its capacities suffer from low temperatures. It is crucial to stabilize the temperature and begin gas extraction as soon as possible. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge worked, so thanks for voting on gas extraction. I did lose my tech points, but we have a pretty high capacity of other things, and natural gas is a new resource for us to exploit. So it wants me to build 3 convectors to boilers. Things might get spicy real fast. Temperatures dropped by 1. An ancient icon was found in a cavern. You believe neither in God nor in the devil, but some members of the team are quite religious. They took it as a good sign. The plain expression of the saint's face frightens you, and for some inexplicable reason, but you keep it nonetheless. Gave a tech point. We also found a damaged nuclear reactor, an abandoned nuclear power plant. The equipment is in a nearly pristine condition. You might be able to start the reactor. Coincidentally, uranium deposits have just been spotted nearby. Hey, Ban. Welcome to 3,000 meters under the earth, where we are fighting horrors and the like. Thank you for the raid. You were playing... I'm blind? What were you playing? Derail Valley? What's that like? Is that like a train sim? Tell me about it. And always a pleasure to have you and your band crew here. Let's splice some atoms, shall we? Alright, so in order to activate the damaged nuclear reactor, we need to find 3 deposits of uranium. We also have found an abandoned mine. A dark maze of collapsed tunnels, and I'm just going to clear it out because it's in the way. Opening up the radar map, let's drill here next. Ben hates train games? Kind of like how I hate fishing games. So there's also a mystical gate over here. Entry closed, enter if you dare. Move the station here in mobile home to leave the sector. So we know where the sector exit is. It's over to the northeast, so I shouldn't build in these 2 slots to block my exit, obviously. To that end, let's actually wait to build anything else until I have a little bit more space cleared, because I don't want to become sort of stuck. They asked you to play this? Ah, it's a perfect fit. So for those that don't know, here's a little bit about the game. It's a mining management game set in a dystopian near past where the surface became uninhabitable due to a supervolcano, and we have to exploit resources deep underground to survive. And unfortunately, underground is full of sort of Lovecraftian horror insects. So we found a frozen moth. And a frozen snail. I don't like that at all. Alright, just doing more drilling. So let's focus on some of the resources that we need to survive. I'm gonna want a convector turned into a boiler. I'm gonna want let's see. A generator. And I'm going to use cluster munitions. Actually, I'm going to use impulse. Shooting the frozen snail. So I've got power and convector, but I need more space, so I'm going to wait. We're pretty low on oxygen now, but I built a convector. Ooh, uranium deposits. So with the convector, I'm going to generate more oxygen, and then upgrade it to a boiler, which produces heat. Let's start extracting uranium. And now in this spot, I will build a refinery. And in this spot, I will build another convector. Because we need to build 3 boilers. I have 1 of 2 drills going, so I guess I'll drill here. That will open up a lot of space. And let's try to blast the frozen snail again. So as you can see, I'm like whittling down the icy shell around it more than anything else. Is this kind of like Ixion? You know, I haven't actually played enough Ixion to be able to tell you for sure. What it's kind of like is, what is that space game? God, what is that weird horror space station game called? I'm totally blanking. But yeah, this isn't like a lot of the other games I've played. Tharos Station? Tharsis? Was it Tharsis? Yeah, this is a bit like the game Tharsis, which came out almost 10 years ago. Oh my god. Isn't that long? Ooh. Probably need to get a colonoscopy then, huh? Yeah, a bit like Barotrauma 2, I suppose. Alright, so we've got the convector, refinery, boiler going, a generator, which is helping to offset our negative energy, 2 drills, and then I'm gonna fire cluster munitions. So the cluster munitions, if you're wondering, have just freed the acid snail from the ice shell and did some damage to the ice shell around the moth. I'm going to use Analyze on the snail and also Insecticide on the snail. Fanyox, thank you for gifting out a sub. Oh, and cheers. Yeah, this is a bit like Barotrauma, I suppose. It's hard to put a thumb on it. It's pretty weird. I mean, it's kind of like Core Keeper-esque as well. Like those Keeper games. So we gotta keep an eye on that snail. Any weapons that I have available to me. Oh, so the snail is blind. But, let's see. I'm gonna set a plastic explosive here. And then throw a vibrating decoy on top of it. So the vibrating decoy also detects enemies, so there is some sort of creature here. So a little reminder, this decoy attracts the attention of blind creatures, and I have plastic explosives on this tile, so we're trying to lure the creature to plastic explosives and blow it up. Snail took the bait. Okay. An ancient golem of internal ice guarding frozen caverns. Its crystalline form absorbs light and emanates a cold glow. It is negative 93 Celsius at the moment. We did find another uranium deposit. But I am... So my boiler. I'm gonna burn 10 oxygen to produce heat and reduce radiation, because we're freezing to death. There we go. It's a little bit warmer, not by much. The snail died. The moray eel is insensitive to cold and fire resistant. Well, that sucks. That's a combo. Christ. All right, let's blast it with the impulse laser. It is not an insect, so I can't, like, analyze it or use insecticides on it. I think we're just gonna have to whittle it down. Now, another thing I could do in this case is set up an outpost to be upgraded and weaponized. So I'll do that in just a minute. I'm a little worried that my refinery is going to get destroyed. So I'm going to upgrade it to a concentrator. And upgrade the convector to a boiler. And then build another convector here. My power is not looking good, so I'm also going to need another generator. I'll build a generator down there. I have gone map to map. This is the 3rd chapter, and you keep most of the resources between chapters. So my research tree, for instance, and also my innovations are kept and carried over. And then last chapter, my brilliant chat decided to send my foreman to go investigate childlike crying, and he got dragged away and, like, had his spine ripped out. So he's permanently dead. I lost one of my heroes as a result. So yeah, choices matter, and as a good roguelike is, dead is dead. So cranky. No, it's fine. It's fine. It wasn't like I was warning you not to make dumb decisions over and over and over. It's all good. Yes. Opening the sealed shut cavern full of cocoons and then investigating the childlike crying in a dark hole. I mean, totally normal things to do. Yes, absolutely. All right, let's see. What else can I do? Oh, so, I think we're good on this turn. Alright, it attacked my boiler, but didn't do damage. I'm gonna use my boiler to try to warm things up. It's negative 102. That's a bit concerning. Running a generator cycle will help to heat things up as well. Is there any other heat? Production. I don't know if anything else generates heat at the moment. Well, we have our 3rd boiler coming up. The concentrator actually generates heat when it produces fuel from petroleum, and that should help. Let's see. We just crit the moray eel. It's down to 257 out of 400. And what I really need is a gas deposit. Maybe there's a gas deposit in the top right over here, so let's start digging that way. Cause yeah, I'm a mite bit like freezing to death. Alright, what did we just do? Now with the 3 generators, I need to find Clathrate. And we have an abyssal flounder that just came up from the ground. A nightmare creature that once dwelled in the darkest depths of the ocean. Its hideous appearance, an enormous gaping maw filled with razor-sharp placoid teeth, inspire nothing but awe and terror. Okay, we're up to -70. Between the boiler and the concentrator, we are producing a decent amount of heat. The concentrator took fire from one of the enemies, I'm not sure which. Yodaville. Cluster munitions. So there's a frozen snail, a frozen moth that we just nuked, which is a little dangerous because we're essentially freeing it from its icy chamber. There's frozen petroleum here. Oh, let's bomb that. Uh-oh. Earthquake? Nope, we're good. We're good. Still barely alive. Let's go ahead and start harvesting the petroleum so that I have more fuel to work with. We're still looking for Clathrate. That's the highest priority, but we have a bunch of boilers, which are helping. Creates an underground explosion, ejecting petroleum at a random location. Sounds awesome, because it also produces heat. So, let it rip, boiler! And then we'll flatten out that hole. So now we're up to -40. Abyssal Flounder versus the Moray Ale. I'm not sure which is more dangerous, but I'm going to go for the Flounder. Because it's, like, next to my city. And let's go ahead and put an energy shield on the city, because if the city falls, we're kind of dead. The other thing I wanted to do is to set up a outpost. So I'm going to set up an outpost or a radio tower right next to the Moray Ale to try to keep us protected. And additionally, the concentrator that I have has an ability called Restrictive Facility, which equips the factory security officers with automatic weapons. It costs petroleum and electricity and fights everything in adjacent tiles. So I'm going to use that. And I don't think we hit the Moray Eel, but at least we hit the Flounder. Oh boy, okay. We're alive. Anything else I want to do this turn? I think we're good. Oh, actually, I'm going to produce some more power. Oh god. Don't destroy my concentrator. Okay. Concentrator's intact. Barely. Repair immediate. And boiler, repair immediate. We unearthed another frozen enemy, which is like kind of low-key scary because I really, 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 really do not need more enemies to be popping out of the ground. I upgraded the harvester into a drill. And then built 2 generators to offset our power consumption, because we're using a lot of power now. The radio tower is now up. And, I'm going to assign the mechanic to the radio tower to grenade launch the enemies. So we hit the Moray Ale, the Abyssal Flounder, and the Frozen Snail and the Frozen Moth. And then on my city, I shot the Flounder for 45. The concentrator doesn't have enough petroleum to run a hydrocracking cycle, which is unfortunate. But it's not so cold. I actually want to keep it cold for now because I don't want all of these bugs defrosting all at once, because that would be scary. So what I really need to do is save up for a hydrocracking cycle, which will have petroleum pretty soon for. But yeah, we we have a lot of action going on right now. Okay. Next turn. The flounder tried to attack me and missed. And as did the eel. An old military bomber has been found in an icy cave. Not long ago, nuclear bombs were transported on such planes to their destinations on other continents. The bomb bay is empty, but there's a strong radiation background. We gained tech. Also, I found yet another moth. I'm good at unearthing these horrors. Drilling rig. Can petroleum bomb the moray eel? I thought the moray eel was fire resistant, so yeah, that's not going to be helpful. Radio tower, I'm going to upgrade to an outpost. I still don't have clathate. Please, for the love of God, let me find clathate. Power's a little low, but our generators will catch up to needed amounts of power soon. Let's try to kill this flounder. Or actually, I'm going to do a cluster munitions. So the flounder's dead. The moth and the acid snail got freed. We got an innovation, which is 25% chance that an enemy will receive energy damage when attacking with the attacking a shielded building. I'm going to let's see. The moray eel has 164. The moth has 160. The acid snail has 140. So I am going to study the moth and try to kill the snail. So I'm going to impulse the snail and insecticide the snail. Run a power generation cycle. So our radiation is pretty uncomfortably high, but I can reduce it with some petroleum. Our fuel is super low. What is going on with this drill here? Can you please extract? We're pretty low on fuel and petroleum, and I'm really hoping that that turns around. Yeah, I think that's all I can do this turn. I've got both drills going. Hopefully, this is the clathate, and I'm like 2 drill turns away from getting there. Oh god, more monsters! Oh my god! Oh, this is rough. I'm turning red for this. So I'm thinking the clathate's here. So we've got a frost sentinel. It is blind and insensitive to cold. It's an ancient golem of eternal ice guarding frozen caverns. Its crystalline form absorbs light and emits a cold glow. The moth is also tied to the boiler. And the way it works is the moth is like on top of the boiler, damaging it. But if we use an ability off the boiler, it will free the moth. So I'm going to use a convection cycle to kick the moth off the boiler. I have just enough fuel for a convection cycle. So the concentrator here, I'm going to do a hydrocracking to get more fuel. And then Yodaville, just start shooting everything. Okay, we shot everything. We did free another moth, or 2 more moths. Oh my god, this is just straight up nightmare. So moths here are photophilic. So let's... Oh, I don't have flare. You guys killed the flare dude. Okay, the acid snail is 30 HP. He's pretty low. So let's insecticide that dead. This moth is 30 HP, so let's impulse kill it. It's dead. And then we have 2 moths, a frost sentinel, and a moray eel to deal with. The moray eel has 100 HP left. I'm gonna try to decoy so that we take a little pressure off of our buildings. And I'm decoying it up to the northeast. I'm really hoping this is clathate. I'm honestly straight up desperate at this point for it to be clathate, because I've not found clathate. Oh, also, yeah, plastic explosives would be good there as well. So if we do lure something in there, it gets plastic. The outpost now has a flamethrower function, releases capable of dealing damage to nearby hostiles, and also grenade launcher. Let's do a grenade launcher. So I hit all critters and do a flamethrower. So now this moray eel has 6 HP, so if we did a cluster munitions cycle next round, it would take it down. Provided I have the fuel to do it. I am not sure I will have the fuel for that. So speaking of the fuel for that, let's kick off... Well, you know what? I'm going to do an energy shield on our concentrator. And then I'll do a study on... No, that moth is too dead. Never mind. Okay, I think I'm good. So power's up, fuel's up to 230. Moth is trying to eat the boiler. The frost sentinel just broke our outpost. It's gone. I just kicked the moth off the boiler. The moth has 7 HP, the frost sentinel 415, the moray eel 6. So a cluster shot should kill all but the frost sentinel. It straight up missed the frost sentinel, but it did kill the other 2. So now we only have 1 enemy to contend with. Unfortunately, that enemy also was the one that destroyed our entire outpost, which ain't good. It really hurt a bunch of Terranauts as well. I didn't find clathate. I found a reservoir. Where the hell's the clathate? Maybe it's... I don't know. I don't know. I'll just keep digging until I find it. Alright, Frost Sentinel gets impulse to the face. And we missed. Good God. And I'm gonna build a radio tower here so that we can start to build up our attack again. I'm completely out of fuel, so let's go do a fuel cycle of hydrocracking on our concentrator. And the Frost Sentinel is not... Okay, so next round, when I have a little bit more petroleum, I'm going to use a petroleum bomb. Pours petroleum over a random hostile creature, but there's only 1 hostile creature, and the Frost Sentinel is not resistant to fire. So hopefully I can take it down that way. I'm also going to try to decoy the Frost Sentinel again. It's a blind critter, but it really didn't take the bait the last time I had decoys on that direction. Uh-oh. A gold mine. It's unknown who owned this gold mine before, but it has been abandoned for a long time. The miners dropped their drills, picks, and lanterns, and in a hurry, everything they left is covered with stone dust. The mine is not fully developed. The processing was sloppy. Some tunnels collapsed, and it's unclear what happened here. But in a deserted shack at the entrance, you found a nervously scribbled letter that slated that the miners had overstayed their welcome with the Golden Queen. It is also says the Queen has grown weary and has been angered. The mines were too noisy. Too often people indulged in greed, exploiting the vein, and in the end, some tragedy occurred. The rest of the letter has decayed. It has become impossible to make out anything else. Top choice, investigate the mine. Bottom choice, blow up the mine, costing oxygen. Y'all want to blow it up? Or investigate it? Blow it up. Blowing it up has released spiders. 128 hit points each. Where the frick is the clathate? For real. I've been mining everywhere for it. Please, clathate, where are you? Frost Sentinel did not take the bait, does not care about the decoy copy. So these spiders are photophilic. I don't have flares because Flare Dude is dead. But what I can do is put a plastic explosive here because this spider basically has to walk on the plastic explosive. My concentrator refines fuel. My harvester goes for the petroleum. We're gonna fuel bomb the frost, and then cluster munitions everyone, setting the Frost Sentinel on fire as a result because he was covered in petroleum. We're gonna laser this spider, and it's dead. So then we have this spider who might step on the plastic explosive. The Frost Sentinel is slowly getting dotted to death. It's actually quite warm, so any frozen critters that we unearth are probably going to be defrosted. Another thing I would like to build is the laboratory, so that we can start to get tech points again. And I think that's my turn. Uh-oh. Oh god, my concentrator is completely dead. Because the Frost Sentinel took it out and the boiler broke. Shoot! Concentrator, let's put you over here. Alright, drilling rig. Cover the Frost Sentinel and petroleum again. And then cluster munitions. We killed the Frost Sentinel. We killed the bug. The spider. All enemies have been dealt with. A half-ruined and seemingly previously secret laboratory. You could not determine what exactly was studied here, but broken enormous capsules and dried blood on the walls seem to give a hint about the nature of the experiments conducted. Keep your eyes peeled, we might find something valuable. And here's our laboratory. I don't have the fuel to upgrade it, unfortunately, because our fuel production facility just got nuked by the Frost Sentinel. But we're alive, and we have a lot of tech points, so as soon as I have the fuel for it, I'll get it upgraded. Actually, how close are we? We are 220, 150, so I'm not that close. So I can, dilute some fuel myself, but that doesn't get up to the threshold that we need. Where? Okay, maybe it's here in this node. I'm just gonna keep mining. I desperately need clathrate, but I just can't for the life of me find it. Also, it wouldn't hurt to find that last node of uranium either. Yeah, I have research points. So, what do you guys want me to research? Good call, now that I have a lab. So, we've got machine guns, which leads to third drill, surface communications to call in more Terranauts, and deep vision to reveal resources. We have got emergency cooling over here. And then up here is turret systems. Allows for the Citadel, which is the upgraded version of a radio station, to build turrets. And then that leads to liquid nitrogen to freeze cold-sensitive creatures, and then tectonic stabilizer to delay earthquakes. To have you vote on that before end of turn. Machine guns it is. A mammoth's corpse was discovered in the permafrost. This find belongs to a natural history museum, but since no museums exist anymore, you'll leave the mammoth to its eternal slumber. Gain tech. Research! Instead of machine guns, we have, third drill that we can unlock. Have you guys vote on that. And third drill, of course, leads to surface communications and deep vision. I'm gonna upgrade my radio tower if I had the fuel. So let's get the fuel. I'm gonna get a better refinery first before I get the... Oh, I can do both. Perfect. I also wanted the upgraded laboratory, but I don't have the fuel for that either. We can synthesize some fuel by hand. And with any luck, we'll find uranium and clathrate. And third drill it is. Alright, you can choose the next tech point. Because I have 3. Alright, we found the uranium. An acid snail. And the acid snail is, of course, a blind critter. So, let's set up plastic explosive here. Throw a vibrating decoy to lure it, which needs fuel, so let's get fuel. Vibing decoy. And I have a decent amount of power, so let's also laser it. And study it. Hopefully it survives next turn for the study. So the uranium deposits is a 3 of 3, which allows us to spool up the reactor for the nuke if I had gas. So there is the prerequisite of needing to find gas first, and I haven't yet found that, which is a bit of a bummer. But I want to dig this out in case there's, like, something important there. Okay. Looks like you guys want emergency cooling or tech. And I have 2 points left. We can save both. Get, turrets or get surface communications. So turrets allow a Citadel to build turrets that automatically attack, and surface communications allows you to contact with the Citadel. So both are Citadel upgrades, but it allows your Citadel to ask for more Terranauts to work, which adds to your total amount of Terranauts. So right now we have 104 out of the original 120 that we started with. It's also slightly radioactive, so let's do a filtration cycle. Okay. Snail's still alive, but barely. There's a frozen magnetic rift, which we could turn into magma, but of course we don't have the right personnel for that. Where on earth is the clathrate? For God's sakes, where is it? Maybe it's here. Man, my RNG is, like, just extraordinarily bad. Alright, Snail's dead. We're gonna go for some surface comms. And I'm going to upgrade my laboratory to research. Hey, we found clathrate! It only took forever and a day. So, here we can build a gas harvester. Gas borong. To be able to start to fill up our natural gas supplies, which is required to turn on the damaged nuclear reactor and do a whole bunch of other things. The research center, I'm going to do a laboratory experiment, which has yielded another tech point. So you guys can decide between save it for later, turrets, or deep scan. Deep scan allows you to see, or sorry, it's deep vision, allows you to see resources on your radar. So now, with the gas harvester, we can burn oxygen and petroleum to generate gas. Or something? What's going on? Why can't I do that? Not enough gas storage. What? Oh, let's build gas storage. Yeah, I probably need gas storage. That would be the repository upgraded. And you guys wanted deep scan tech. I'll be that. Deep vision. Now the tech point I have obviously goes to turret systems because there's really nothing else to get after, because it doesn't fork anymore. Let's see. So once I have the ability to actually contain gas, the other thing is that the gas harvester allows you to demagnetize. So it allows you to remove magma lakes, but it requires a bunch of gas in advance. I think at this point, I'm like not too interested what there is to mine out here, so I'm going to leave the rest of the place like unmined. And the upgraded repository is the terminal. This is so strange. I don't remember having to go build gas storage before. But, okay. Still don't have a way to store it. Yet. Power's looking really bad, so I'm gonna get some extra generators as well. So the upgraded version... Oh, yeah, there's something bugged right now. I need to upgrade my base to be able to upgrade the terminal to a gas holder. Upgrading my base costs 1,000 fuel. Okay. So we got over 1,000 fuel. I'm upgrading the base, and then next turn I will be able to get the gas holder. I think. Research points. I'm going to hold on to this one for now. So, the cough. Miners complain of acute bronchitis. People are choking and coughing up black sputum. This is common in the mine, but the coughing fits have started to distract them from their work. Finally, the coughing claimed the first victim, a man with strong constitution, a heavy smoker. His life ended with a creaky sob. Black foam remained on the corner of his lips. This is disturbing. Actions are expected of you. Something has to be done. Well, maybe don't be a pack-a-day smoker. So check the ventilation systems or take an air sample for analysis. What do you all think? Wow. Runaway. All right. The chemist, wrapping the seam of the hazmat suit with a third layer of insulation tape, nods approvingly. She has not parted with the oxygen tank for several days now, and does not cough at all. The chemist finds some foreign particles in the air. This can only mean check the vent systems. A group of miners goes into the maze of maintenance corridors and ventilation tunnels. People rarely go here. If it works, you don't touch it. The team searches for damage or foreign objects. Inspects every corner of the labyrinth. Finally, the cause is found. A human body covered in mucus, fused to the core fan. It's the very center of the ventilation unit. The corpse, covered in a barnacle-like crust, emits black pollen from its anatomical apertures. The van has stopped. The corpse prevents the blaze from moving. Alright, so we can force the fans to rotate to a maximum, which is impossible because we don't have the power, or take the find to a dissection table. The men reluctantly take crowbars and try to pry the body off the blades. A couple of workers fall dead, having raised a cloud of caustic dust from the ossified growth. The cold light of the operating room lamp helps identify the monster. It's our engineer, Gunter Kohler. A tragic end. Well, engineer just died. Okay, so now we have natural gas storage. Honestly, I don't know where it came from. It's like magic, because I haven't actually built the gas holder. I'm gonna get rid of the terminal, I don't need it anymore. We're gonna do a gasification harvest, which allows me to turn on the reactor. So, the mystical gate is open, and I'm booking it. There are horror fish everywhere, ripping up everything. Blowing up everything I built. It's time to run. Mission accomplished. Thank you for tuning in to Anoxia Station, which originally streamed live on Twitch. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you'd like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow survivors deep in the subterranean underground.